Have you ever been around Russian sage? In case you've never noticed, we have several of these lovely lavender plants decorating the exterior of our building. But can I let you in on a little secret? These lovely plants have a heart that is pure evil. They're diabolical. They constantly swarm with bees and wasps. If you touch them, the smell will be on you for a week. You can't control them. They spread like a noxious weed, and they're almost impossible to kill. Now, out on the south end of our building where construction is going on, there were some of these plants. They were excavated. There was tons of dirt dumped on top of them. The ground was packed until it's like cement. But guess what? They're growing back up again. Now, I don't know who planted these, and I really mean no offense, but what were you thinking? Now, one thing I will say about these plants, they have roots. I once tried to dig up some of these, and the roots were like iron. I finally got most of a plant out by hooking onto it with a tow rope and a pickup. Roots are important. Now, in horticulture, certainly, but most importantly, we need spiritual roots. Now, as Paul continued to challenge the church at Ephesus in Ephesians 4 regarding the appropriate life of a Christ follower, he writes this in verses 13 and 14. Until we all attain to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to mature manhood, to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, so that we may no longer be children, tossed to and fro by the waves and carried about by every wind of doctrine, by human cunning, by craftiness in spirit, in deceitful schemes. See, what he's talking about is knowing what you believe and why you believe it. He's talking about continually learning the mind of Jesus and His ways, and then applying what we learn. He's talking about growing up, becoming mature, every day becoming a little more like Christ. Now, Paul couldn't have described the times we're living in more accurately if he were living and writing today. Our society, and even too many in the church, are bobbing around like a rowboat in an ocean storm, believing things that so-called experts and celebrities are saying about current events and moral issues, things that defy common sense or logic, let alone what God has said in His Word. And it's all because we lack maturity. We lack deep roots. And it's tragic that so many people are falling prey to what Paul here calls the winds of new doctrines, new teachings, carefully crafted lies in some cases, being tricked by smooth talkers who know nothing of Jesus and His ways. Jesus said, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." It's on us, then, to know the truth and to learn it, to know, to study God's Word faithfully. And then we'll know the counterfeit when we hear it. Now, I encourage you to resist the urge to be enamored by theatrics and entertainment. Do the hard work of thinking through the stuff in God's Word that is difficult to understand. Take the time to think about how a particular truth can impact your life and that of your family. And that's the way we move from childhood into maturity. So grow deep. Make sure your spiritual roots are kind of like these Russian sage. You know, the small group that you're a part of has so much potential to affect your life in many ways, but I think that one of the greatest is to be a factor in your growth in Jesus Christ. So don't hurry through your discussion so you can eat or whatever it is that you'll do next. As it says in Colossians 3:16, let the message about Christ in all its richness fill your lives. Teach and counsel each other with all the wisdom He gives. Go deep.